So last night I was on the beach in Island State Park in Ocean County with the sheriff. He has been working it every single night. He's got his own tethered drones chronicling. One of his officers 2 nights ago saw 50 drones come in off the ocean right there. So we thought maybe they'll replicate it. They didn't, but we thought it was a possibility. Last night we had a number of other people there, including a commanding officer from the Coast Guard, who said that one of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12 and 30 of these drones as they went through the water, followed right behind them.
Welcome to Extraterrestrial Reality. That was Representative Chris Smith during a House Homeland Security Committee hearing this morning, where the committee met with members of the FBI, Homeland Security, and the Department of Justice, trying to get answers with regard to these mysterious drones hovering over New Jersey, as well as parts of New York now as well. And guess what? The FBI has absolutely no answers. They're completely, utterly clueless, as Marik von Rennenkampff, a former Department of Defense official, has been stating on X today. And we're going to talk about this, all these different things that are still ongoing in New Jersey and now New York, and I hear parts of Pennsylvania now too. There have been objects seen all over the place, sometimes over very sensitive airspace, and there seems to be no answers, and we're going to talk about that today. Now, there was this hearing in this House Homeland Security Committee meeting this morning, and there were officials there, including Mr. Robert Wheeler from the FBI, and he was asked a question from the committee chairman, August Pfluger, and this is how things started off with the questioning. Check this out.
What is going on in New Jersey?
So, sir, the FBI and our Newark field office, along with the state and local partners there, the Bureau is actively investigating the situation you mentioned, just the unexplained sighting of drone activity over that part of New Jersey, including proximity to sensitive sites and areas of concern. So we do not attribute that to an individual or a group yet. We're investigating, but I don't have an answer of who's responsible for that, of one or more people that are responsible for those drone flights. But we're actively investigating. What the Bureau has done to aid our state and local partners is what we generally do, enlist the help of the interagency, enlist the help of the public. There's a tip line there. That 1-800-CALL-FBI, tips.fbi, for information from the public that could help us resolve this. It is concerning.
Is the public at risk? Is public safety at risk? Are we concerned that there are nefarious intentions that could cause either national security or a public safety incident that would put Americans at risk?
There's nothing that is known that would lead me to say that, but we just don't know, and that's the concerning part.
I think the fact that we have these unknown drones, UASs, that are flying over either critical or sensitive facilities is exactly why we're having this hearing. And Mr. Jones, actually for anybody on the panel, let me just say, we go back to last year, there were incidents, including Langley Air Force Base, where for over a week we had unknown drones flying over a very sensitive military installation with F-22s and other, weapon systems on the ground. And I think that was cause for concern. So from a DHS standpoint, either on a border mission or from an FBI or DOJ, you mentioned, Mr. Wheeler, we don't necessarily have the authorities we need. Why can't we take action against these drones that are flying over sensitive sites? Why are we not taking action against drones that are flying over sensitive sites?
So authority exists to mitigate a UAS in flight when authorized, and that could certainly apply to a sensitive site. I would be a little measured in speaking for the Department of Defense for those sites that are in question here, but I will say that we're, for the FBI, in a position, close liaison relationship with the Department of Defense and those areas that you mentioned, and will help in every way possible. But for securing those particular sites in this way, it is a DoD equity.
After that, then Representative Elijah Crane had some questions, and again, he really didn't get much answered. Check it out.
I got an article right here, mystery drone spotted over New York, New Jersey, prompt calls for federal investigation. I believe this was Breitbart News. I want to start with you, Mr. Wheeler from the FBI. What can you tell us about what you guys do know?
So the public reports and what we have from eyewitness sightings, some of those very credible police personnel and others are what we describe as unidentified drones. We do not know the particular specifics of what those drones are. Some are described as being slightly larger than a commercial available drone, fixed wing as well as rotary. We have helped analyze with our partners video and pictures of what those look like, what have been submitted. Part of that is these over 3,000 tips from the public, and to look at that. But as I previously stated, we don't know the people responsible behind that, and that's what we're working on.
Yeah. What did you say you guys were, the FBI was spending on counter drone?
My budget that would specifically include the technology that we use.
Is it 500,000?
It's 500,000.
What? That doesn't seem nearly adequate. Why do you feel like there isn't a push within the FBI to keep up with modern warfare and modern threats?
So we're
What is the budget for the FBI right now?
roughly 11 billion.
Okay, why do you think as warfare changes, and as you know, sir, warfare is changing drastically right now overseas, especially with Ukraine and Russia and the development of drone technology, why isn't the FBI taking this threat more seriously? And that's obviously reflected by the budget that you guys have assigned to counter drone technology.
I have a limited capability that is embedded within our emerging threats unit for surveillance issues. That allocation of resources, that research, that operational deployment of our capability is what we have today. I would imagine that this would grow over time.
What do you think that some of these terrorist cells that might be in the country right now, or maybe even outside of our borders, what do you think that they're looking at when they see a hearing like this and they see that you guys still, after almost a month, don't know who these drones are? What do you think that they're thinking?
So I would be measured in how we speak about our capability and what our limitations and capacity is. However, I'll say to you that it's not as good as I wish it was, and we'll continue to work to make it better.
Yeah, well, when you're only spending $500,000 a year, it's probably not going to be very good, is it?
The only thing I would say about that is that this is an enterprise-wide problem. It's not just a technological problem, that most of that $11 billion budget for the FBI gets after threats to Americans, this being one of them. And the way we apply resources, personnel, operational, all of that to include technology to get after a threat that would threaten American lives, I don't think that $500,000 for the technology part of it adequately captures our commitment to protecting Americans.
Finally, Nicole Maliatakis had some questions as well and some concerns, and here's a little exchange that she had.
I just want to follow up on what my colleague asked regarding what happened in New York and New Jersey. These drones, unmanned aircrafts have also flown over my district. A number of constituents have seen them over a power plant in Brooklyn. They were coming over the Verrazano Bridge. And I will remind everyone or explain to everyone here that Verrazano Bridge connects Staten Island and Brooklyn. And on the Staten Island side, you have Fort Wadsworth, which is a U.S. Coast Guard sector New York base. And then in the Brooklyn side, right on the other side of the Verrazano Bridge, you have Fort Hamilton, which is a U.S. Army installation. And so it is very concerning to me that we have these objects. We're not sure if they're drones or unmanned aircrafts, but they are flying over sensitive infrastructure and facilities. And the fact that we don't know what they are or who's behind them or what they're doing is very concerning to me, particularly in a post-Chinese spy balloon world. Okay, the fact that this administration allowed for a Chinese spy balloon to go across the country over multiple military installations is very concerning, and that we could potentially be having this happen again it's like astounding to me that this is even happening without any type of intervention. You say it's no known threat, but is there still a possibility of there being a threat? At the end of the day, that's what my constituents want to know.
Yes, I am cognizant, and we all are in the FBI, of what this threat can look like. Anyway, across the spectrum of sophisticated state actors, adversaries that want to hurt us, all the way through counterterrorism matters, cyber, WMD, criminal, all the way down to a nuisance drone that could cause harm. So that's the wide spectrum that concerns me every day.
Okay.
I'll just mention it concerns me that we don't know the answer to your question yet.
And are you working with the Pentagon, with FAA, with DHS, with your partners to try to identify this? Because I don't put it all on just the FBI. I think this is, I mean, what is Homeland Security doing? Do you have any idea? Have you?
I wouldn't speak for another department, but I will say that the way we do business is extremely collaborative in the interagency, and especially with our state and local partners.
So who is taking the lead here on this particular issue to identify these drones and aircrafts?
Well, we have an investigation open predicated on a idea that there's unsafe operation in the airspace, which is a federal violation that we have some jurisdiction for. But it would help us know sort of what lane this falls in when we know the people that are responsible and what this is all about, to your point earlier. And we're actively investigating and would like to answer those questions, but I don't have a better answer.
And what if they were carrying chemical weapons or something? We just don't, I mean, this could be a much worse conversation we could be having right now, because these things have been flying all over New York, New Jersey, over military installations. I don't know, I don't know what's going on there, but these agencies need to figure it out and try to get to the bottom of what's going on. I think it's very concerning. Is there a possibility, if hopefully it is not a threat, is it a possibility it would fall under this System Assessment and Validation of Emergency Responders program, the SAVER program? This is a program under Department of Homeland Security, Science and Technology, where they are testing various technology for search and rescue, disaster response, and it could be part of a law enforcement assessment. You think that's a possibility? Because my Army base doesn't know about it, my NYPD doesn't know about it, so I guess my question is, why wouldn't the local authorities know if this was part of a testing of security technologies for first responders?
So I don't know that to be the case,
Okay.
and I couldn't really comment on that.
Okay, well, just again, I would love to speak to you offline at some point and maybe share some information with you, but I would really just urge if you could speak to your colleagues and counterparts in these other departments, and because we need to get to the bottom of what's going on here. And if it is something that is not nefarious and is one of part of these public safety applications that are being tested, they need to coordinate with the local authorities. So my guys in New York NYPD, they know that it's not a threat.
I would agree.
All right, thank you.
And of course, after that, later on, Representative Chris Smith made his comments. So basically, we have gigantic mess here going on, and there's no answers. The FBI is utterly clueless. I just want to point out what Marik von Rennenkampff was saying today on X about this. Okay, he had a couple of different comments, and we want to go through those comments. Initially, he wrote, breaking, the Federal Bureau of Investigation is utterly clueless about the ongoing incursions. How is this possible? And then he posted another one saying, FBI official describes sightings by very credible police personnel and others of unidentified drones slightly larger than a commercial drone. And they don't know. They don't know who's responsible for it. And then later on he wrote again. He's talking about Representative Chris Smith describes a police officer observing 50 objects that came in off the ocean. In another incident, a Coast Guard ship was followed by between 12 and 30 objects, and the FBI is utterly clueless. So we have a lot of questions here with no answers, and I don't know if we're going to get those answers anytime soon. Well, I guess we're going to find out. There's been a lot of different articles. There's a lot of different things going on. Some of these objects, I've talked about this in the last episode. You look at them. Some of them look like, I think they're misidentifications of planes and helicopters. And then sometimes they are drones, but who's operating? Operating them. No one seems to know. And of course, then sometimes there are orbs that people are reporting. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. There was something with regard to that I think is very, very interesting. However, we have no answers to these questions. And you know, when you listen to this hearing today, right, there was really no discussion about potential NHI for the most part. That I didn't really notice anything like that. They're just talking. Everything is drones these days. Everything is drones. That's all we're hearing. It's like they're droning on about drones. That's what it seems like we're talking about anymore. UFOs. The UFOs went from UFO to UAP, and now we're talking about drones all the time. If you don't know what they are, and how do you know that they're drones? Do you know absolutely positively that all of these things are drones? I don't know. Some of them do look like drones, and then sometimes they look like little balls of light just floating around out there. So I don't know. Is it some sort of a ploy, some sort of an effort to try to confuse the issue? Are there orbs appearing over sensitive airspace right now in the New Jersey, New York area, and in an effort to confuse people, to make people think it's something else? They send up somebody secretly sending up drones, right? And then people see the drones, and that's the one everyone's talking about, thinking that there might be some brazen, bold invasion by some enemy country like China or Russia. Is that what the intention is here? Some people talk about Project Bluebeam, that this is all some sort of a trick. I don't buy that one. I don't believe in that one. But some people do. I don't. I don't think that to me, none of that makes any sense whatsoever. What does make sense is that as we know, the Pentagon does not want to talk about UAP. They don't want to talk about aliens. They keep denying it and over and over again, even though we have people who have testified under oath to otherwise at this point about what's going on, about that there are reverse engineering and crash retrieval programs. But is what's going on in New Jersey and now New York, is what's going on there connected somehow? We really don't know. It's a gigantic mystery. We have no answers to these questions right now. And as you can see, we really didn't get any answers today during that Homeland Security Committee hearing. But anyway, let's just go through some of the recent articles here. Here was an article today in Newsweek. A lot of this stuff has been talked about before. FBI issues statement as mystery drone sightings reach New York. And it says here, the FBI has issued a statement addressing ongoing mystery drone sightings that have now spread from New Jersey to New York, urging public cooperation in their investigation. It comes as residents in Bay Bridge, Brooklyn, reported drones on Sunday night, joining numerous sightings across New Jersey in recent weeks. The sightings, which began in November, have alarmed residents in neighboring New Jersey. Drones have reportedly been spotted near the Picatinny Arsenal, a United States military facility, and President-elect Trump's Bedminster Golf Course. In response, the FAA temporarily restricted drone flights over these locations. Okay, that's fine and dandy, but that doesn't mean that they're restricted because they're still showing up. We understand the concern, and we are doing all we can to figure out what's going on, a spokeswoman for the FBI's Newark field office, which is leading the investigation, told PIX 11 News. We truly don't have much information to provide at the moment. Newsweek has contacted FBI Newark via email for comment. Diane Atkins, a Brooklyn resident, captured videos of the objects near the Verrazano Narrows Bridge, describing them as loud and numerous. There had to be 10, maybe 12 total of these things, Atkins told PIX 11. Definitely not planes, and there were too many of them. Congressman Nicole Malatakis shared Atkins' videos on X, questioning the lack of information from authorities. The FAA, FBI, Department of Homeland Security, and NYPD should let the public know what's going on here. Well, unfortunately, they can't because they don't know what's going on here. Are these drones? Are these drones, and why are they flying over sensitive facilities and infrastructure? After the Chinese spy balloon, anyone can understand why a community is concerned. Yeah, she was talking about the 2023 incident when the Chinese spy balloon was shot down over South Carolina. Okay, and here's another article, and this is from Channel 4 New York. New Jersey senator calls for limited state of emergency as drone mystery deepens. The mysterious nighttime drone flights have been plaguing New Jersey residents for weeks and recently extended to Staten Island. A state senator in New Jersey is calling for a limited state of emergency banning all drone usage until authorities can provide answers about the devices seen buzzing over Garden State communities in recent weeks. Senator John Bramnick said Tuesday the ban should last until the public receives an explanation regarding these multiple sightings. Governor Phil Murphy has said the drone sightings are under investigation. Yeah, now that's interesting that he says that they're going to give us an explanation regarding. We're going to wait till the explanation. We might be waiting a long time for that explanation, folks. We might be waiting a long time, but then again, maybe we won't. But I think we're probably going to be waiting a long, long time with regard to that. Okay, let's see. There's another article here. Yeah, this is the one I wanted to talk about. Now, this is something strange. Now, this is from the unidentified phenomena.com website, and this was something that's been talked about a lot. Some professional photographer apparently posted some images on Facebook of an apparent object that was hovering over New Jersey, and was able to zoom in on it, and you see this ball. That's what it looks like. It looks like an orb. Now, some people say this image here that I have on the screen right now, that you can actually see an alien face in there. Like weren't we just talking about this? That there have been incidents throughout during the years, throughout the decades, where sometimes orbs are seen close up, and inside them, witnesses said there were little gray alien creatures sitting inside of them. Now, that's what some people online are saying about this one here. I don't know. Let's see. I think there's a close up here of it. Yeah, right here. Like, I think now, is this as detailed and clear as a UB, the undeniable backbreaker? No, but I could see what they're saying. They're saying that this could be an eye here. This is its head, perhaps. But then some people are saying it's phony pictures. I don't know, or that it wasn't it was zoomed in too far. I don't know. I don't know who's right and who's wrong when it comes to this right now. There's just a lot of confusion. But anyway, let's read through this article a little bit. It says recently, new pictures of the New Jersey UFOs, of the New Jersey UFO, what officials call a drone, surfaced online. Originally shared on Facebook by a seasoned nature photographer. The images were captured using a 300mm camera lens and later cropped for clarity. The photographer has a solid reputation over her 30-year career in nature photography. The New Jersey UFO photos and videos of UFO spheres are the best I've ever seen, perfectly capturing what I experienced as a child and teen. After 46 years of waiting, these extraordinary captures provide the validation I always hoped would come. So this person here who's writing this article claims to have seen these things a long time ago as a child. Now, this woman who took these pictures, apparently that Facebook page disappeared after they went up for some reason. But I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. But anyway, continuing with this article, it says, a 300mm camera lens is a telephoto lens designed to magnify distant subjects, making it ideal for wildlife photography, sports events, and capturing subjects that are far away. The 300mm refers to the focal length, indicating a narrow field of view that brings distant objects closer. These lenses often feature wide maximum apertures, such as f2.8 and f/4, allowing for faster shutter speeds and better performance in low light conditions. Additionally, many 300mm lenses incorporated image stabilization technology to counteract camera shake, which is particularly beneficial when shooting handheld. The construction of these lenses typically includes multiple lens elements arranged in groups to minimize optical aberrations and enhance image quality. Due to their robust build and advanced optics, 300mm lenses are often heavier and larger than standard lenses, reflecting their professional-grade capabilities. And here's another close-up of this thing that this woman captured, this photographer. I don't know, very weird looking, but some people are saying that it's nothing to see here, and we'll get into that in a minute. Now, this picture here I thought was interesting. This was zoomed out a little bit, and you can see this weird thing. I don't know how to describe it, but that's what we're seeing there. I don't know what to say about it. Anyway, I'll leave the links for all of these things as I always do, so you can check these things out for yourself. But let's go over to Reddit and see what these people are saying. These nameless people, people who we don't know. They act like they're experts. That's what this is what I dislike about UFO Reddit, is that there's all these people on UFO Reddit always with their nickels worth of advice on here. They're putting in their 2 cents all the time, but we don't know who these people are. How do you know? That's the whole issue I have. With Reddit, especially UFO Reddit, you have all these people saying, "Oh, it's nothing. There's nothing to see here." Well, who are you? Who are these people? So somebody posted it on here. It says, "Posted on drone sighting Facebook group." Says they were taken with 300mm and cropped. And they have all the images here. I'll leave the link for this as well so you can check it out. And there's all these comments. But anyway, the original poster writes, "The woman who posted these is the executive director of a nonprofit that works with adults and kids with autism. She has been a nature photographer for 30 years, not your typical UFO grifter looking for attention or propagating misinformation, just some food for thought." Well, apparently a lot of the people in the comments don't see it that way. They didn't take the food for thought, because all of these people in the comments, a lot of them are experts apparently, and I don't know who they are. We don't know. Nobody knows who they are. But as you can see, there's a lot of comments here and a lot of people trying to debunk these things all the time. And that may be true. It may be nothing, and maybe these people are right, but I wish, some real experts would step up and debunk them then if they're so sure, and tell us exactly why. But see, this is the issue with this. It's easy to debunk something like this, right? You have one person taking pictures, and you could have anybody out there, any internet rando out there just saying, "I don't believe it. This is junk. It doesn't do anything for me." Anyway, let's scroll through here a little bit. Yeah, look at this comment here. Cookies Meow. Now, who the hell is Cookies Meow? And who the hell should care what the hell Cookies Meow says? But Cookies Meow posted this yesterday. How does this this person, Cookies Meow, is all upset that this post that this person put up about this picture has almost 500 upvotes? Clearly there is some kind of nonsense happening in this sub. If you're a real human reading this, don't fall for the BS psyop. Clearly not UAP posts. How does someone who's been a photographer for 30 years not know how to properly focus on objects? Get real. Okay, well, who are you? How do we know that this person's an expert? Just some rando out there with some phony name posting this like they're the expert, and he's upset that the person got 500 upvotes at that point. Now it's a lot more than that. It's in the thousands. But this Cookies Meow gets 157 upvotes. And then somebody else, another rando, DJ Skillrex. It's up to 1.1 now. Incredible. And then Cats Meow responds, "Insanity, not the first and not the last post this month." Like, who are these people? Well, come out of the woodwork and show your face. Tell us who you are. Tell us where your expertise is. I mean, I like to know. Maybe you're right. I don't know. But I don't know. How could I trust anything that these people say, all these randos? But see, a lot of people fall for this garbage all the time on here. It's garbage. Not that I'm not. It could. They could be nothing. It could be that there was an issue here, and that the image is really nothing, like these people are trying to claim. But I don't know that for a fact. I mean, where's the real experts coming out and talking about this? Of course, you'll get some debunkers that will come out. This is easy to debunk because there's one person who took the pictures. They'll just say, yeah, it's they zoomed in too far or something, or it's just an illusion or whatever, and you'll get that kind of nonsense. But I mean, I want to hear it. I want to see the analysis, not just words. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't like when that kind of thing. I don't like the way Reddit is set up, UFO Reddit. And then here, somebody else, this Lambo80 says, mods need to start considering deleting posts like OPs. Does nothing but harm to the rhetoric for UAP. Okay, but I want to know, who are these people again? Who are these people? I mean, that are calling for the moderators to delete the OP's post. I mean, it's all over the internet right now, those images. I don't know if they're real or not. You read the one article says it was taken by a professional who's been doing it for 30 years, and then you have internet randos whom we don't know who they are just making these comments. Oh, it should be taken down. It should be taken down because I don't believe it. I don't know. That's just where I'm at with this. But anyway, the bottom line is this. Regardless of what that orb is, whether it's nothing or whether it's something, the fact of the matter is that there's a whole bunch of objects, a whole bunch of drones appearing over New Jersey and New York, and nobody knows who's operating them or where they're coming from or what's going on with them at all. I mean, they don't know if they're a threat. They have no idea. Everyone is completely clueless about this, including the FBI, which, as you heard in that from that segment from that video there from earlier today, they only have $500,000 to spend on these kinds of concerns. That's not a lot of money, especially when the FBI's budget is $11 billion. I mean, only $500,000 is put aside for the FBI to investigate incursions into our airspace like this. I mean, that's absurd when you really think about it. But again, what is it? Is it some sort of a trick by the government, by a segment within the government, the control group perhaps, to send up a bunch of drones that try to create a different counter narrative about the orbs that are appearing everywhere all over the place all the time? Is that what maybe these idiots on Reddit are? Maybe they're just how do we know? We don't know who these people are commenting. How do we not know that they're not CIA operatives? I don't know that. Nobody knows this. But see, a lot of people, they can't make up their minds themselves. And when they see a whole bunch of even internet rando people telling them what something is or what something isn't, they believe it. Oh, but I read on Reddit that there was nothing because Cookies Meow said so. Nobody knows who Cookies Meow is. How do we not know that it's not the head of the CIA for all we know? We don't know. We don't know. Anyway, we just have no idea where they're coming from, and neither does the FBI. I guess that's the bottom line for today. Also, I wanted to do a little update here. You know, earlier today, late this morning, my Spotify channel was brought down. It was for some reason, reasons unknown at this point, but it was brought down. I had to fight it. I had to contact people at Spotify. They found that there was no issue after all. Apparently, there was some issue that the AI thought there was that I was using copyrighted material on my shows, and that they took the whole channel down for some reason, and it lasted for about 4 hours. So if you're wondering what happened, that's what happened. But I fought about it all day here this afternoon. I was in contact with a program manager at Spotify, and he helped me out very much, and we got it back up again. And so for anyone who was wondering what happened today, if you went to check it out and it wasn't there, that's because it was completely eliminated. After 3.5 years of uploading on Spotify for about 4 hour period today, it was gone. And I was concerned because there was a lot of work I put into this podcast over the last 3.5 years. And I thought I was about to lose it all over something I didn't even know what it was. And then I found out it was nothing because I didn't even get a response. They just said, oh yeah, we put it back up for you. No problem. Everything's okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Spotify. So for anyone out there who was wondering what happened, that's what happened. But now we're up and running again, so no problems now. Anyway, I just want to say this. Oh yeah, one other thing. I'm planning. I'd like to go to New Jersey. I'm thinking about going to New Jersey. I'm not that far from where all this stuff is happening, and I was actually thinking about doing that today, but I can't do it now because I wasted a good 4 hours, fighting over my Spotify channel. And I was actually thinking about doing it tomorrow, but tomorrow is supposed to rain 100% all day, apparently. So that might not be a good time. But I do want to go out there, and I'm thinking actually I might go out there and do a live show, and at night I'm going to try to go to one of these areas where these things are showing up all the time and on a regular basis, these drones or whatever they are. UAP, whatever they are. We'll see. And I was thinking about trying to do a live show on location in Jersey. And I'll let you know if that happens or not. It probably won't be tomorrow, but I'm thinking Thursday at this point. It seems like it doesn't matter because it seems like it's happening every single day. But I think I might be taking that little journey. It's less than 2 hours away from where I am, so I'm probably going to do it. Anyway, I want to say this. I want to thank you all for joining me today. Until next time.